Srividya,
Yes, Master.
I think let us start, I think, no?
2 minutes to do it, yeah.
Okay. Beauty.
Start, yeah, Master. Master, start, yeah.
Namaskaram to all participants. So today, as informed by us, it is totally a free online class on Patanjala Yoga Sutra. And the purpose of giving this free online class on Yoga Sutra is UGC net focused, because you all know that UGC asks more number of questions from Patanjala Yoga Sutra. So it is very necessary to understand the alpha to omega, or a clear understanding of Yoga Sutra in detail. Even in the last time, UGC even started to ask the sutra number and what it is, because it is a very difficult task to remember each and every sutras. But the purpose of asking even the number of sutra is nothing but UGC has to check, would like to check the understanding of how much understanding of Yoga Sutra the candidates have. You all know that Yoga Sutra is the classical text on yoga, and at the same time, Patanjali is not the father of yoga, but his great contribution was he codified the concept of yoga that were scattered in Vedas, Upanishads, and especially in Sankhya Yoga. He codified in a very systematic way, in the form of sutras. Then after that, we should have a clear understanding of the sutras. What is sutras? What are the characteristics of sutras? UGC may ask any one of the characteristics of the sutras. Then the chapters are called padas. Sometimes UGC may ask a question, you can note down whenever I am talking about this. The chapters of Patanjala Yoga Sutra is called number A, padas, number 2, upadeshas, number 3, padalas, and number D or 4, none of the above. They may ask. So there are 4 padas altogether. So according to Vyasa Bhashyam is the authentic commentary on Yoga Sutra, believed it to be written by Maharshi Vyasa. So in which there are 195 sutras, and all other texts other than Vyasa Bhashya, there are 196 sutras. The excess sutra you can find in the Vibhudipada, and that is sutra number 22, that is not included in Vyasa Bhashya. So an outline of all these chapters, all the padas, the number of sutras, and you have to group the number of sutras so that you would be able to understand the groupings, what it says, what it says, what it says. This is very, very, very important, by which you would be able to remember even the number of sutras. Right? So let us see some slides, and the slides will give an insight to plan your lessons so that you would be able to not only to understand Yoga Sutra in detail, but to remember each and every sutras and their importance. Yes. Yes. This prayer, most of the people knows. But sometimes UGC may ask, what are the qualities of this great sage Patanjali? There are three qualities. First one is he was a yogi. Okay, who removed the impurity of the mind by his work on yoga. Second, he was a great grammarian, Sanskrit grammarian, and the impurity of speech by his work on grammar. And the third, he was a Ayurvedic doctor or Vaidya, the impurity of the body by his work on medicine. These are the three qualities of great Maharshi Patanjali. Then you know that this Yoga Sutra is one of the Indian philosophies called Shad Darshanas. So there are two broad divisions of the darshana. One is the Astika Darshana and other one is the Nastika Darshana. Astika accept the Vedas and Nastika did not accept Vedas. Even in the Manusmriti it is said that Nastigo Veda Nindaga. Veda Nindaga. So in the Astika Darshana, Nyaya and Vaisheshika, they are allied systems. They talk about, it is logic and talk about the atomism. And Sankhya and Yoga is a pair, and Sankhya talks about the number of elements that is responsible for the evolution of this world. And Yoga is a process of controlling the mind to attain samadhi. And Purva Mimamsa, the Mimamsa literally means it is inquiry. So doing dharma for the welfare of the society. And the Uttara Mimamsa, that is called Vedanta, the absolute reality is nothing but the Brahman. So among these six darshana, Yoga, Patanjali Yoga Sutra comes, so it is also called Yoga Darshana. And Nastika Darshana, Charvaka Darshana, Buddhism and Jainism. So you remember that, you have to remember that the Yoga or Patanjali Yoga Sutra is one of the Shad Darshanas. And why it is a Darshana or Shastra? If we say the Shastra, there are three main characteristics. You should meet the main three characteristics. So first characteristic, the epistemology. Epistemology is nothing but the theory of knowledge. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, you can see that. What is the nature of knowledge? Then it talks about pramana, pratyakshyanuma, agama pramanani. You know that. And pramanam is the tools of knowledge, and prama is the valid knowledge. So it talks about the epistemology, theory of knowledge. It has. Then the second characteristic is the metaphysics or the ontology. The ontology means the theory of reality. So reality here means whom am I? What is our real I-ness? A real I-ness is nothing but the drishta or the purusha or the pure state of consciousness. And the third characteristic is the axiology. Axiology means the theory of values. Ethics, morals, values, and aesthetics. So we have yama and niyama. Since it meets all the three characteristics, epistemology means the theory of knowledge, metaphysics means the theory of reality, and axiology, theory of values. Without any doubt, we can say that Patanjala Yoga Sutra is a philosophy, a great philosophy of the mind, controlling of the mind. And what was the characteristics of this Patanjala Yoga Sutra? Okay, and he was the first sage. Before that, there are many mysticism, and some people practice yoga for their own purpose, and they kept many elements of the yoga very top secret. And he was the great saint who established yoga as a practical discipline, systematically emphasizing its 8 important limbs. You all know these 8 important limbs. And what is the benefit of this? These 8 steps, the systematization of the yoga, removed the element of mysticism. Okay, and that had so far prevailed as an essential characteristics of yoga. It is because of the great contribution of Patanjali that the mysticism removed. Right. Then you have to remember that what are the other names of this Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So it is, since it is one of the Shad Darshana, it is Yoga Darshana. And since all the verses are written in the form of sutras, it is also called the Yoga Sutra. And it describes systematically the 8 limbs of yoga. So it is called Ashtanga Yoga. And since the purpose of yoga is to discipline the mind, so it is called Raja Yoga. It is Raja Yoga. And other very important thing that most of the people, wherever they go, they talk that yoga is union. But Patanjali Yoga Sutra is not for union. It is actually disunion, viyoga. Means keeping the Purusha separate, because the Purusha is the absolute reality. And through the Purusha, the Prakriti gets consciousness, even the Chitta. And Chitta has only apparent consciousness. The real consciousness, it gets from the Purusha. So the purpose of the yoga is not for union, but to control the mental modification to be free from the miseries. Tavatraya, Adhyatmika, Adhibodhika, and Adidevika. You have to remember the 3 dukkhas, UGC may ask. And attain Kaivalya. Okay. In which the Purusha or consciousness abide in its real form, real state. Okay. Then, this already I have discussed 195 Sutra according to Vyasa Bhashya and 196 Sutras according to other texts. So only one Sutra is excess in the Vibhuti Pada. What is that? Sometimes UGC may ask. So 3, in the chapter 3, it is the 22. Okay. 22. Edena Shabdadi Andardharanam Uktam. It is said that disappearance of the sound and other tanmatras can be understood. Okay, the subtlety of the tanmatra can be understood. This is the meaning. And this sutra is not available in the Vyasa Bhashya. Okay, it is chapter number 3, Sutra 22. So many students have asked me, sir, there are 196 sutras and 195 sutras. I think that your doubt is Very much clear now. Then you have to remember the characteristics of sutras. One by one. It is alpaksharam, only one of letters or a small word. Then asagnikdam, there is no ambiguity, double meaning. Then saravat, it has some essence. And vishuddhamukam, it provides all meanings. And astobam, no stop, it is a continuous. And anavadya means faultless, free from repetition. Great. And very short sentence or aphorism. All these characteristics are called the sutras. You have to remember all this. Then important commentaries on yoga. Sometimes UGC may ask the important commentaries on yoga. Amongst the commentaries, Vyasa Bhashyam is the very important commentary. Believed to be commented by Maharshi Vyasa. It is called Vyasa Bhashyam on Yoga Sutra is the most important. Then Vijnana Bhikshu's Yoga Vartika, the second one. Then Vajaspati Misra's Tattva Visharit. But remember these three. And Swami Vivekananda. He himself wrote the commentary for Patanjala Yoga Sutra in the form of Raja Yoga. And he was the great global monk and who pronounced that the Yoga Sutra is the king of yoga, and after that it is known as Raja Yoga. Strictly speaking, Raja Yoga has some other yoga too, Mantra Yoga, Laya Yoga, etc. Then this categorization of this systematic session of the sutra you have to remember very clearly. Okay. So first, sutra number 1, Samadhipada. It is Atha Yoga Anushasanam. This Anushasanam is a traditional practice. Then Atha Yoga, now, here and after. So yoga is, here yoga is defined as Samadhi. In Vyasa Bhashyam, Vyasa clearly discussed which Samadho iti Samadhi. Which Samadho iti Yoga. So the first sutra, Atha Yoga Anushasanam. The first sutra, the yoga is Samadhi. The second sutra is something different. And sutra number 2 is definition of yoga. You all know. Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. Here, yoga is a process by which to control the mental modifications, not stop. Okay, it is a sort of Nirodha, means controlling. In some of the book, it is called cease to know. It is controlling because the mind has to work. Otherwise, we cannot think at all. And Sutra 3 is when we would be able to control the chitta vrittis. Tada drishtuhu surupe avasthanam. Mean the drishta, the seer. So Patanjala Yoga Sutra is mainly talks about the difference between the seer and the seen. The seen, whatever you see, okay, it goes on changing, goes on changing. But the seer never changes. And that seer is actually the drishta or the purusha. But we do not know that. Why? Because of avidya. Avidya. So Sutra 4, if we are unable to control the chitta vrittis, vrittisarupya idaratra. All around, everywhere, there will be vrittis. It is very difficult to control. So there is a purpose, there is a need to control the chitta vrittis. Okay, to discipline the mind to think productively or to know the real nature of the consciousness, what it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it is a very systematization I made it. Then Sutra number 5 to 11, it talks about 5 vrittis. Vrittaya, Panjataya, Klishta, Aklishtaha, and their classifications. Pramana Viparya Vigalpa Nidra Smridaya. Okay, we will discuss the next class one by one. Then this is 5 to 11. You remember that 5 to 11. And Sutra number 12 to 16. Okay, it talks about the two tools. Abhyasa Vairagyabhyam Tannirodha. Then it talks about what is Abhyasa. Sa Dirgha Kala Maidanteri. It talks about the characteristics of this one, Abhyasa. Okay, Satkarya, it talks about. Then it talks about Vairagya. The Vairagya is of two kinds. One is Apara Vairagya, means not severe. And the second one is the Para Vairagya, that is very severe. There is no intention for material pleasure. The Para Vairagya goes to the sannyasis. And Apara Vairagya for the people like us, the householders. I hope everybody is understanding. Is it? Yes. Then this is Sutra 12 to 16. And 17, it talks about Sampratnada Samadhi. Okay. Vidarka, Vichara, Ananda, Asmita. These are the four types of Sampratnada Samadhi. So we'll talk about what is Sampratnada Samadhi. So remember that Sampratnada Samadhi is with an object. Without an object, Sampratnada Samadhi never happens. Means it is a process of tutoring, teaching the mind to concentrate on gross form, the form you can see outside, and the subtle form only you can think it of. Only you can think it of. So this is Sampratnada Samadhi. So the candidates are very much confused about Sampratnada Samadhi. So when you understand Sampratnada Samadhi in the right sense, which is very, very interesting, then we would be able to understand that there are stages of consciousness from lower level to higher level. After knowing these stages of Samadhi, we would be able to understand where I am and where you are. Is it? Yes. And number 18 to 22, Sutra number 18, it talks about the Asampratnada Samadhi. Sampratnada Samadhi, when it is object meditation, then Asampratnada Samadhi, objectless meditation. Okay, very, very clear. Objectless meditation. So here only practice. Para Vairagya. Para Vairagya. No interest in material pleasures. And it talks about the three types of Mrudu. There are three types of intensity. Intensity. Then types of Asampratnada Samadhi, Prakriti Laya, Bhava Pratyaya Asampratnada Samadhi, etc. You don't worry, I will discuss everyone, each and every Samadhi in a very clear terms. Don't worry. So Sutra 23 to 29, you have to make a chart like this, each and every chapter. So Sutra 18 to 22, definition, types and three progress types of intensity to attain Sampratnada Samadhi. And Sutra 23 to 29, concept of Vichara. And this is the main difference between Sankhya philosophy and the yoga philosophy. And yoga darshana is an offshoot of Sankhya. So that is what it is said, Atha Yoga Anuशाsanam. The Atha means the practitioner, okay, the first pada, only who can understand by an Uttamadhikari. I am going to tell about it. Okay. So, Sutra 22, concept of Ishvara, attributes, okay, then sadhana, and result of Om sadhana. So 20 through 29, it is Ishvara and the Pranava meditation. Okay. And Sutra number 30, obstacles to yoga. Very, very important. Chitta Vikshepa. Vyadhisthana, you know that. There are 9 and plus 4 Sahabhuva. means accompany. So that altogether there are 13 chitta vikshebas. So it is very, very, very interesting, very, very, very important to understand. And what are the meanings of each and every chitta vikshebas? Okay. So you have to categorize in two ways, physical and emotional. So we'll discuss afterwards. So Sutra number 32 to 40, removal of obstacles. There are 11 techniques altogether. And Sutra 33 is famous for Chitta Prasadanam. Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Ubechana. You know that. And Sutra 41 to 44, Samapati. And Samapati, what is Samapati? It is nothing. It is just before Samadhi. Okay. In Samapati, you know, Chena Vritti, the Vrittis becomes very, very big. So that the Vritti will not disturb you. Okay. Vritti means thoughts, whatever it is. Okay. Pratya, any thoughts, any emotions, whatever it is. And that Vritti becomes very weak. So that Vritti will not disturb you. That is why Patanjali said Chena Vritti. And this is Samapati. So what is Samapati? Samapati is, please you note down what I'm discussing. Samapati is a state of concentration just before Samadhi. Okay. In Samadhi as well as Samapati, we do the concentration technique with support. And that support is called Alambana. Alambana. So 41 to 44, Samapati. So what are the Samapati? Savitarka and Nirvitarka, Savichara and Nirvichara Samapati. Right? 41 to 44. Then 45. Samadhi on subtle subjects. Subtle objects extends up to Prakriti. Means concentration on a subtle objects that leads to understand about the Prakriti. And this Prakriti is very, very, very subtle, not the Prakriti you see outside. The Prakriti you see outside is called Vikriti. Okay. And Vikriti is come out of from Prakriti. And here Prakriti means, pra means before, Kriti means creation. What it was before creation is called Prakriti. A very great definition. In the Nyaya and Vaisheshika, they limited the ultimate nature of an object. A padartha is an atom. But our Sankhya said that no, it is more subtle than an atom. What it was before creation, it is more subtler than. And he named that phenomenon, metaphysical phenomenon, what? Prakriti. Okay. Pra means before, Kriti means creation. What it was before creation is called Prakriti. And that Prakriti is called unmanifested state of Prakriti. And what is the manifestations of the Prakriti? The world we see outside. Even I am, my mind, my this world, my I-ness, everything. And Sutra number 46 is Sabija Samadhi. And Samija Samadhi means all the types of Samprajnata Samadhi comes under Sabija Samadhi. Sabijam. The Bija is there. Okay. Then Sutra number 47, it talks about benefits of Nirvichara Samapatti. Okay. Nirvichara Samapatti. And Sutra 48, Nirvichara Samapatti provides Ridhambara. It is a special kind of intelligence. Ridhambara Prajna. Okay. Ridhambara Prajna. It is because of mastering Nirvichara Samapatti. Okay. Nirvichara Samapatti, only the Artha shines. Okay. Ridhambara. And Sutra number 49, characteristics of Ridhambara. What is the characteristics of Ridhambara? the special form of intelligence. And Sutra number 50, Samadhi. This Samadhi obstructs other impressions or samskara. Even in the Samadhi is not the ultimate state of yoga. Okay. Samadhi is the highest concentration. Okay. And after Samadhi, one super knowledge comes to you, and that is Viveka Khyadi. And Viveka Khyadi understands that the Chitta and the Prakriti, everything shines, or it is seemed to be consciousness because of the real consciousness got from the Prakriti. So that is why I said just before, even the Chitta has apparent consciousness. Apparent consciousness. So the Samadhi, what is the Samadhi? When we attain the state of Samadhi, it obstructs. Even the samskara will become very, very, very weak, or they are going away gradually, gradually, gradually. And Sutra number 51 is Nirbija Samadhi. And don't think that Nirbija Samadhi is also the ultimate state of the this one consciousness. And even the Nirbija Samadhi, and with the knowledge of Viveka Khyadi, it really understands that it is only because of the consciousness we get from the Purusha or the Drishta, everything shines. Okay. When the Chitta understands, then what happens? Chitta goes and dissolves in the Prakriti, and Purusha abides in its real form. And this is Nirbija Samadhi. So Nirbija Samadhi is the last one, and by which, with the help of the Viveka Khyadi, you will attain the culmination of yoga, the highest goal of yoga, that is Kaivalyam, or Kevala Bhava. Kevala Bhava. Okay. So this is the systematization of the first chapter. So you write down it. Okay, it is, I think that it is uploaded in the YouTube also. You can see the YouTube again and again. Okay, and this would help you to remember all the sutras that are explained and described in the Samadhi Pada. Okay, fine. Then let us analyze, analytical study, sometimes critical study also. Start from the each and every sutra explained in the first pada. The chapter is known as pada. So the first sutra is the aim and subject matter of yoga. Okay, it is the aim and subject matter. And what it says, atha, yoga anushasanam. 3 words. Atha, yoga anushasanam. Now begins, or hereinafter begins. Anushasana means it is a discipline. Shasan means discipline. Anushasana means traditional discipline or teaching of yoga. Right from the Hiranyagarbha. You might heard the name of Hiranyagarbha, and he was the creator of yoga. Okay. Then what sense the atha used? This is also very, very important. Atha. So this atha stands for hereinafter. It means that some scholars, some yogis, some rishis, some maharshis, they know each and everything, but they might not have attained the culmination, the last state of the highest level of consciousness, that is Kaivalya. Then Patanjali says that now you can practice yoga too. This is the first meaning, atha, hereinafter. So it means that the person, the practitioner, should have pre-existing Vedic knowledge. He should have a clear understanding of the Vedas and the Upanishads, and moreover, a deep understanding of Sankhya Yoga. As I told you that when we talk about Sankhya Yoga philosophy and Yoga Darshana, there is no substantial difference except one element, that is Ishvara. And Sankhya is silent upon the God, the Ishvara. Okay. It talks about whatever we have, it is the interaction between the Purusha and Prakriti. But Patanjali technically employs the concept of Ishvara. But to him, most of the places, the Ishvara is not the creator of the world. It is a tool for meditation. Ishvara pranithanani va. He talks about it. So it is Atha. And the second Atha is the authority. The first chapter, the first Pada, all cannot understand. It is very difficult to understand the Samadhi, Sampratnata Samadhi, Asampratnata Samadhi. People may become mad. Who can understand this? Those who can understand, who has a deep knowledge about the Vedas and Upanishad, and even the good basic understanding, a detailed understanding about Sankhya Yoga. So who is the Adhikari of this one? The first Pada, it is the Uttamadhikari. Uttamadhikari, this is the second. Okay, Adhikari. And the third is Atha, describe 5 planes of Chitta Guru. And what is the state of your Chitta? Okay, if it is very, very wrong, Shipta and Vikshiptam, etc. No, it is Patanjala Yoga Sutra is not for you. Then what is the remedy then? Then you go back to Hatha Yoga. And that is why Satma Raman said that Kevalam Raja Yogaya Hatha Yoga Vidya Upadishyati. So whatever my Hatha Yoga, yes, it is only the purpose of Raja Yoga. Okay. So when we talk about Hatha Yoga, it is a body-mind yoga. So when we talk about the Patanjala Yoga Sutra, it is a mind-body yoga. So the state of mind is also very, 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 very important to understand the concept that is explained in Patanjala Yoga Sutra. Okay. And the last one is the Atha indicates auspiciousness, Mangala. And these are the 4 interpretations, the commentaries given by, in the commentaries written by Vyasa. Yes. So the Atha Adhikari, Adhikari, so there are 3 Adhikari, Uttamadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Athamadhikari, Mandadhikari. And Uttamadhikari, Uttamadhikari, so the Samadhi Pada is for Uttamadhikaris. Okay. Because only they can understand what is some Asampratnata Samadhi, Sampratnata Samadhi, like that. And even Nirbhita Samadhi and Samhita Samadhi. We can understand not later on, not immediately. And in the second chapter, okay, Tapas Swadhyaya Ishvara Pranidhanani. And these 3 is for Madhyamadhikari. They also know everything, but they need tapas, not a severe tapas. And tapas swadhyaya, again they have to read something. Then Ishvara Pranidhanani. Okay, surrender to this one Ishvara, or when the qualities of attributes of Ishvara, Patanjali discussed that we will look into later on. And the Ashtanga Yoga is for us. Okay, we have to Yama, we have to practice Yama, Nema, Asana, like this. Okay. Then up to Samadhi. So Athamadhikaris or Mandadhikaris. So what does it mean? Only the Uttamadhikaris could attain liberation, or Madhyamadhikaris? No. All the 3 are eligible. It is very, very, all the 3 Adhikaris attain the state of Kaivalyam, in which Uttamadhikari is very soon, Madhyadhikari soon but a little late compared to Uttamadhikaris, and Athamadhikaris like us, it is very, 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 very slow. So this is the clear, nothing is left. Okay, nothing is left. And the second one is the word Atha indicates the 5 planes of Chitta. Chittam, it is restlessly highly distracted mind, Rajas mind, and Mudham, dull mind, and Vikshiptam, oscillating mind. Sometimes Sattva comes. Okay, becomes predominant, but Rajas is not fully suppressed. And Ekagaram is the state, good state, and Nirdham is more desirable state for practice of Yoga Sutra. Then Atha indicates auspiciousness. The Atha is discussed. Nothing is left. Atha. Okay, now you understood what is Atha. What is Atha? And second is Atha Yoga. And this yoga is very clearly defined by Vyasa, Yuj Samadhau iti yoga. So Vyasa said that this yoga, the purpose of the yoga is nothing but samadhi. Samyak atiyade iti samadhi. Okay. The Anushasanam, Atha Yoga Anushasanam. And what is this Anushasanam? And this Anushasanam, Anu means before, which indicates the ancient and traditional. And Shasana means discipline. So Anushasanam means a traditional discipline or teaching right from the Hiranyagarbha. You might have heard Hiranyagarbha. So this is the first sutra, Atha Yoga Anushasanam. Okay. Fine. So here, let us stop today. And before stopping, so all the participants, I don't know how many of them joined today. Only about 53 joined today. So whatever I have discussed so far, so any participants has any significant doubt, they can ask one by one. When one is talking about, the other please don't put on their mic. Yes. And whatever I have discussed so far, it is very clear.
Yes, sir.
Now, yes.
Yes.
What would be your doubt?
Yes.
Any doubt? And most of the people heard my Yoga Sutra discourse 2-3 times, and they may have better understanding about it. And in this crash program, the UGC focus program, so all the first 51 sutras, systematically I arranged it. It is very necessary to understand the systematization of the sutras and what each and every sutra says. So in the same way, you have to arrange the sutras in the second chapter, the third chapter, and fourth chapter. Then very easy to give any answer from Patanjali Yoga Sutra. First, you have to understand the concept and the meaning. And when you have a clear understanding about the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, whatever UGC asks, immediately you remember, oh my God, this is. Okay. And what is the characteristics of this sutra? Astobam. Okay, you know, yes, I read it, Astobam. Anavadhyam, faultless. Like this. Yes. Anything? So today's program, whatever I have taught today, so this will be uploaded in the YouTube soon. So you can see the YouTube and can understand Patanjali Yoga Sutra one by one, clearly, very clearly. So in a nutshell, the Patanjali, the first Pada talks about the aim and objectives of yoga, in which talks about what is the definition of yoga. Okay, when the chitta vrittis are controlled, what happens? We would be able to understand the real consciousness, establish the Purusha withiness. Then how we get knowledge and what are the sources of the chitta vrittis. Then he talks about the 5 types of chitta vrittis. Then Patanjali discuss each and every one. Very clear. Very clear. Then Patanjali talks about the 2 tools, Abhyasa, Vairagya, Abhyamta, Nirodha. Then he talks about what is Abhyasa and what are the characteristics of Abhyasa. Sa, Dirgha, Kala, Nairantarya, Satkara, Sevito, Drida Bhumi. You have to read it. You have to read and remember like this. Dirgha Kala, long time. Nairantarya, frequently. Okay, frequently, right? So अगर कोई नॉर्थ इंडिया से इसमें है उसको भी पूछ लीजिए, कोई अगर हिंदी में पूछना है तो पूछ लीजिए, बिकॉज आई हैव ए गुड कमांड ओवर हिंदी टू. Then two tools. Then Patanjali talks about the vairagya. Vairagya means detachment. So there are two types of detachment. Apara vairagya means normal vairagya, and para vairagya means complete, be free from the complete free from material pressures. Patanjali, when you understand the concept in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it is very, very easy actually. And it teaches us how to practice Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Patanjali Yoga Sutra is not for reading, it is for practice. It's for practice, no doubt. Then it talks about this two. Okay, two, Abhyasa and Vairagya. Okay, then talks about the concept of Ishvara. What is concept of Ishvara? And what is the nature of Ishvara? That is Tasya Vajaka Pranava. It is the sound, reverberation of the sound. Then talks about what are the obstacles, that is Chitta Vikshevas. Okay, they are 9 in number. And Sahabhuva accompany Dukkha Daurmanasya, Shwasa Prashwasa, etc. You know that. 9 plus 4, 13. Then talks about what are the methods by which all this obstruction can be washed away. The sutra number you remember, the first one comes the Chitta Prasadana. Then Pranayama, Pratyardharanabhyam Pranasya, exhaling the air outside and concentrating the air you exhaled outside for a time, for some time, that would be able to, yes, control the chitta vrittis. Okay, there are many techniques, around 10 or 11 techniques. Then talks about the varieties of samapatti, and samapatti is nothing, it is a state just before samadhi. Okay, savidarka, savijara, etc. Okay. Then talks about what are the different types of asampratnada samadhi. Then talks about when we practice some samapatti practice, we will attain a special kind of intelligence that is called Rudambara. Then Patanjali talks about what is Sabija Samadhi. Samija Samadhi, all the Sampratnata Samadhi comes under Sabija Samadhi. Then talks about what is Nirbija Samadhi. In the Nirbija Samadhi, what is Nirbija Samadhi? Nirbija Samadhi means even the samskaras are washed away completely, maybe little bit here and there. Nirbija. And when we will get to the highest state of consciousness, that is Kaivalya, when we have the great knowledge of consciousness, and that is Viveka Khyadi. Viveka Khyadi knowledge is free from the 5 kleshas, Pancha kleshas. So Viveka Khyadi understands that the Chitta has no consciousness actually, it has an apparent consciousness, apparent motion. Okay, I used to say in my class, when suppose you are sitting in a train and the other train is moving, you feel that your train is moving. In fact, your train is not moving. And this is concept of apparent motion. So Viveka Khyadi understand that this is only Chitta has apparent motion, and Chitta thinks that I know each and everything. No, it is from the Purusha. And this is a clear-cut understanding, a clear-cut narration about the first chapter or the pada. Right. Then I have explained the first sutra, detailed, Atha, Yoga, Anushasana. So here Atha, I talked about Atha. The first Atha is for Uttamadigari. You should have the knowledge of Vedas and especially the Sankhya Yoga. Okay. And the second Atha is, who is the Adhikari? The person who has a good sound knowledge upon Veda, Upanishads, and Sankhya. And he is the Adhikari for first pada only. And then talks about what is next Atha. Next Atha is the 5 states of Bhumis, that is Chittam Bhumi. Chittam, Mudam, Vichittam, Egagram, Nirudam. Very simple. All the 5 states we do have. We do have all the 5 states. Right? Yes. Then the last Patanjali says that wherever Athartha Mangalam, it is auspiciousness. Auspicious. So you read yoga, you practice yoga darshana, definitely you will be able to elevate your consciousness from lower level to higher level. No doubt. No doubt. Okay. So then yoga, and yoga here, it is very clearly defined by Vyasa, yoga samadhi. Then the first sutra, yoga is samadhi, a higher state of concentration, a higher state of consciousness, not the ultimate state of consciousness. Ultimate state of reality is nothing but kaivalyam, kevala bhava, oneness. Kevala bhava and oneness. Then Anushasanam. Anushasanam also I discussed. It is nothing. It is shasanam, a discipline. And what is a discipline? A discipline should not be an imposed one. Not to be imposed. The discipline should come from us. And what is actually discipline? Creating an order within us. This is discipline. Actually, we are now orderless. We have to make some order in our personality, and that personality is called yes. And you can watch this video forever. It is being uploaded. Each and all these episodes, whatever the episodes we are going to talk, this will be uploaded in YouTube. So again, you hear it. Okay, any suggestion you can. Whatever the knowledge I have, I expressed. Maybe something may be left out. So your suggestions are also welcome. Okay. So this is what I have discussed today. Anything you have to ask, you may ask it. First, this is the first introduction day. Yes. Anybody is from North India?
No, I am from Hyderabad, but well in Hindi. So ये चैप्टर बहुत अच्छे से हमको मिल गया. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
अच्छा ठीक है. Okay, thank you. Anybody from North India other than Hyderabad? I don't think. And some may be in the YouTube. It is also this is displayed in the YouTube. Is it, Srividya?
Yes, Master. Yes, Master. Yes.
Maybe some people may be watching YouTube. So far I have discussed this very clear. And Patanjala, when you know Patanjala Yoga Sutra, it means that you know yoga. Okay? So before stopping this first day introductive talk, so once again, you can ask any questions on this Yoga Sutra. 2-3 minutes. Don't worry. Today I talked very clearly with the full stop, comma, etc. Everything. No doubt. My God, you are all great then. Maybe somewhere some doubts may be there. No? Okay. Thanks, sir. Okay, thanks, sir. So the second sutra, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. All the sutra will be explained one by one very, very clearly. From the next day, on Thursday, you know, it will be little fast. Because your UGC net examination or Patanjali Yoga Sutra must be completed. Okay. And Patanjali was the only sage. He never said that Yujyadeyane is yoga, union is yoga. He disagreed that. He said that no, union is not yoga. He said that yoga is a process by which you would be able to control the mental modifications. There are thoughts of the thoughts, emotions after emotions. And why I am repeating this, you know, a succession of thoughts. It is not stopping of the thoughts. Thoughts we may have. Thoughts are two kinds. One is, that is why Patanjali said, Klishta Aklishtaha. There are some knowledge that is Aklishta, without pain. That is good for you. And when you understand each and every sutra, the commentaries given by some other book, you would be able to understand it is not right. So we must have some good knowledge. So thoughts are, even the anger, you know, anger, most of the people say that anger is negative emotions, but sometimes it becomes positive. There are two types of anger, destructive anger and constructive anger. So Patanjali Yoga Sutra is indeed a depth psychology, no doubt. So Nirodha. Nirodha means a restricted place. You may have seen some written, some sentences, placard, etc. written in the army campus, on the wall of the army campus. A restricted area. So what does it mean, restricted area? I cannot go, and Vincent cannot go, and Shivaram cannot go. But all other peoples who are interested in the army, they can go. This is the same meaning as given by Patanjali also. Whatever the thoughts have to be entered in the chitta, that you give access or way to the chitta so that the good thoughts may go there. And this is the meaning of yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. And vritti is the pattern of the thought. And why it is vritti? The pattern of thoughts moves in a circular way. So each and every word, you know, that is mentioned in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra is pregnant with meaning. Pregnant with meaning, no doubt. Yes. So may I stop here today? Anything you want to ask? No. Yes. It is very, very clear to you. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay then. Okay then. So yeah, even if you have, in case you have any doubt, okay, you can post it. I think that a separate group is created by our coordinator, I think. Is it Srividya?
Yes, Mashe.
Okay. All the participants who participated today, and it is a very, very important class. And you can give information to your friends and let them hear this class, let them listen this class. You will get a lot of information about Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Okay? So let us stop today. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. We will meet on Thursday. Right? Okay.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಸರ್ ಹರಿ ಓಂ ಸರ್
Dhanyawad. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om.
Thank
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು
Sure.